The morning sun filtered through the silver leaves of the great trees that surrounded the elven palace of Silverleaf. Princess Luna Starweaver stood on her balcony, watching the forest wake up below her. Birds sang their morning songs while small creatures moved through the branches. Everything seemed peaceful and normal, just like it had been for hundreds of years. Luna had long golden hair that caught the sunlight and green eyes that sparkled with curiosity. She was known throughout the kingdom as the best archer and one of the smartest diplomats. Unlike most elves who preferred to stay hidden in their forest world, Luna often wondered what lay beyond the stars. She had read every book in the royal library about other worlds and different races that lived among the stars. The sound of running feet broke her thoughts. A young elf messenger rushed into her room, breathing hard and looking scared. His face was pale and his hands shook as he spoke. "Princess Luna, you must come quickly to the Great Hall. Something huge has appeared in our sky. The council is meeting right now." Luna grabbed her bow and followed the messenger through the winding corridors of the palace. The halls were filled with worried elves whispering to each other. Some looked up at the ceiling as if they could see through it to whatever was above them. When Luna entered the Great Hall, she saw the entire elven council gathered around a large crystal that showed images from above their world. In the crystal, she could see a massive ship floating in space above Verdania. The ship was bigger than their largest city and had a dark blue color that seemed to shimmer and move. Elder Katie Moonwhisper, the oldest and wisest member of the council, turned to Luna with worry in her ancient eyes. Katie had lived for over 1,000 years and had never seen anything like this ship. "Princess, this vessel appeared just an hour ago. We do not know if they come as friends or enemies. Our magic cannot penetrate their shields to see inside." Luna stared at the image in the crystal. The ship was beautiful in a strange way, with smooth curves and glowing lights along its sides. It did not look like the warships she had read about in old books. Those ships were usually rough and covered with weapons. This one seemed almost elegant. "Have they tried to speak with us?" Luna asked. "Not yet, but we are ready to defend ourselves, if needed," said Captain Lisa Nightshade, Luna's cousin and the head of the palace guard. Lisa was a fierce warrior with dark hair and sharp features. She always expected the worst from strangers. Just as Lisa finished speaking, the crystal began to glow brighter. A new image appeared showing a figure on the ship trying to send a message. The figure was tall and had blue skin that seemed to glow softly. She wore elegant clothes that looked like they were made from starlight itself. The blue-skinned woman began to speak, and somehow her words were translated so the elves could understand. Her voice was calm and strong, like a leader who was used to being listened to. "Greetings to the people of Verdania. I am Empress Zara Vex of the Catherian Empire. I come in peace seeking an alliance with your people. My daughter Maya and I wish to speak with your leaders about a great danger that threatens both our worlds." The council members looked at each other with surprise. They had expected demands or threats, not a request for an alliance. Elder Katie stepped forward and spoke into the crystal. "Empress Zara Vex, I am Elder Katie Moonwhisper of the Silverleaf Kingdom. We will consider your request. But first we must know more about this danger you speak of." The image of Empress Zara nodded with respect. "I understand your caution, Elder. The threat I speak of is called the Devourers. They are machines that eat entire worlds and turn everything they consume into more of themselves. Our scouts have seen them moving toward this part of space. Verdania lies directly in their path." A cold silence filled the Great Hall. Luna felt her heart beat faster as she imagined machines eating their beautiful forest world. She had read about such things in the oldest books, stories that most elves thought were just legends. "How do we know you speak the truth?" asked Captain Lisa, her hand moving to her sword. Another figure appeared beside Empress Zara in the crystal. This was a younger woman who looked like a smaller version of the Empress. She had the same blue skin and glowing eyes, but her clothes looked more like armor than royal robes. "I am Commander Maya Vex," the younger woman said. "I have fought the Devourers on 3 different worlds. I have seen what they do to planets and people. If you do not believe our words, I will show you the memories of those battles." Luna stepped forward before anyone else could speak. Something about Maya's voice made her believe that she was telling the truth. The pain in the young commander's eyes was real. "I would like to see these memories," Luna said. "If this threat is real, we need to know everything about it." Elder Katie looked surprised. "Princess, it could be dangerous to let alien magic touch your mind. But if they are telling the truth, it would be more dangerous to ignore them," Luna replied. She looked directly at Maya through the crystal. "Commander, Maya, would you be willing to come to our world to share what you know?" Maya looked at her mother, who nodded slowly. "Yes, Princess. We will come with a small group. We will bring no weapons except what we need to protect ourselves." The council spent the next hour arguing about whether to allow the aliens to land. Some members thought it was too risky, while others agreed with Luna that they needed to know more about this threat. Finally, Elder Katie called for a vote. All those who agreed to allow Empress Zara and her daughter to visit our world, raise your hands. Luna raised her hand immediately. After a moment, several other council members did the same. It was close, but the vote passed. "Very well," Elder Katie said into the crystal. "You may land in the great clearing near our palace. We will meet you there in 1 hour." As the crystal went dark, Luna felt both excited and nervous. She was about to meet aliens for the first time in her life. More importantly, she might be about to learn about a threat that could destroy everything she loved. She touched her bow and whispered a prayer to the forest spirits for wisdom and courage. 3 weeks had passed since Empress Zara and Commander Maya first landed on Verdania. The great clearing near the palace had become a temporary camp where Cytherians and elves worked together, sharing knowledge and planning their defense against the coming threat. Luna stood in the main tent watching Dr. Beth Starlight, the Cytherian chief medical officer, prepare for the first enhancement procedure. The tent was filled with strange machines that hummed softly and glowed with blue light. Beth was a kind woman with gentle eyes who spoke slowly to make sure everyone understood her. "The biotech implants will work with your natural elven abilities," Beth explained as she checked her equipment. "We have tested this process on volunteers from both our species. The results show that elves and Cytherians are more compatible than we first thought." Empress Zara had spent days explaining her proposal to the Elven Council. In exchange for allowing Cytherian forces to build a defense base on Verdania, she would share their advanced military technology with the elves. The enhancement process was the key to making this alliance work. "The implants do not change who you are," Zara had told the council. "They make you stronger, faster, and better at fighting together as a team. But there is something special about elven biology that we did not expect." Maya stood beside Luna, wearing the same nervous expression that Luna felt inside. Over the past weeks, the two young women had become close friends. Maya had shared her memories of fighting the Devourers, showing Luna images of destroyed worlds and mechanical monsters that consumed everything in their path. "Are you sure you want to be the first?" Maya asked quietly. "We could wait and let someone else try it." Luna shook her head. "If I am asking my people to trust this process, I should be willing to try it myself." She looked at Maya with a small smile. "Besides, you said you wanted to try it too. We can be enhanced together." Elder Katie Moonwhisper stood in the corner of the tent, watching everything with worried eyes. She had voted against the enhancement process, believing that elven magic and alien technology should not be mixed. "Princess, are you certain about this? Once the process begins, we cannot undo it," Katie said. "I am certain," Luna replied. She had spent many nights thinking about this decision. The Devourer threat was real, and traditional elven magic alone would not be enough to stop them. Dr. Beth gestured toward 2 chairs that looked like they were grown from crystal rather than built from metal. "Please, both of you sit down. The process will take about an hour." Luna and Maya sat in the chairs, which adjusted themselves to fit their bodies perfectly. Beth placed small devices on their foreheads that felt warm against their skin. "You will stay awake during the process," Beth explained. "The implants will integrate slowly with your nervous systems. You may feel strange sensations, but there should be no pain." As the process began, Luna felt a tingling sensation that started in her head and slowly spread through her body. She could sense something new growing inside her mind, like a door opening to a room she had never seen before. Maya reached over and took Luna's hand. The moment their fingers touched, Luna felt a shock of connection. She could suddenly sense Maya's thoughts and feelings as if they were her own. "Can you feel that?" Maya whispered. "Yes," Luna replied, amazed. "It is like we are sharing the same mind." Dr. Beth smiled as she watched the readings on her machines. "This is unexpected but wonderful. The elven magical abilities are amplifying the telepathic connections that the implants create. You are forming a bond that is stronger than anything we have seen before." As the hour passed, Luna began to understand what was happening to her body. The Catherian technology was not replacing her elven abilities, but combining with them to create something entirely new. She could feel her senses becoming sharper and her mind processing information faster than ever before. When the process was complete, Luna stood up and immediately noticed the difference. The world around her seemed brighter and more detailed. She could hear conversations happening in other tents and smell scents from far away in the forest. "How do you feel?" Empress Zara asked. Luna stretched her arms and tested her balance. "Different. Stronger. But still myself." She looked at Maya, who was also standing and examining her own enhanced abilities. "The bond between you is remarkable," Dr. Beth said as she studied her readings. "You are not just sharing thoughts. Your minds are working together to process tactical information. Over the next few days, more elves volunteered for the enhancement process. Captain Lisa Nightshade was among the first, followed by Amy Swiftarrow, a skilled ranger who wanted to help protect the forest. Each new enhancement created connections between the volunteers. Soon, Luna found herself at the center of a growing network of enhanced warriors. She could sense their locations, share tactical information instantly, and coordinate complex battle plans without speaking. The enhanced elves discovered that their combined abilities were greater than anyone had expected. Amy could track enemies through the forest using both elven nature magic and Catherian sensors. Lisa could fight with enhanced speed while her sword was strengthened by energy fields. But Luna's abilities were the most unusual. As the first enhanced elf and the strongest connection point in the network, she began experiencing visions that came through the Catherian collective consciousness. Late one night, Luna woke up in her room with images flashing through her mind. She saw space filled with dark ships, moving like a swarm of insects. Mechanical creatures were landing on a distant planet and consuming everything they touched. She reached out with her enhanced senses and found Maya, who was sleeping in the Catherian camp. Luna shared the vision with her friend, who woke up immediately. "Those are Devourer scout ships," Maya said through their mental connection. "The visions are coming from our long-range sensors." Luna got dressed quickly and ran to the main tent, where Empress Zara was working late into the night. The Empress looked up as Luna entered, sensing her urgency through the network. "Empress, I have been seeing visions of Devourer ships. Are they getting closer?" Zara nodded grimly. "Our scouts detected them yesterday. They are moving faster than we expected. We have perhaps 2 weeks before they reach Verdania." The news hit Luna like a cold wind. 2 weeks was not enough time to enhance and train all the elves who had volunteered. They would have to fight with a small group of enhanced warriors against an enemy that had destroyed entire civilizations. "What can we do?" Luna asked. "We fight with what we have," Zara replied. "Your enhanced warriors will be our advance force. The combination of elven magic and Catherian technology may be our only advantage against the Devourers." Maya joined them in the tent, followed by Lisa, Amy, and the other enhanced elves. They could all sense Luna's concern through their shared connection. "We are ready," Lisa said firmly. "Whatever comes, we will face it together." Luna looked around at her friends and allies. The enhancement process had changed them all, but it had also brought them closer together than she had ever thought possible. They were no longer just elves or Catherians. They had become something new. "Then we prepare for war," Luna said. Through the network, she could feel the determination of every enhanced warrior. They would defend their world, no matter what the cost. The alarm bells rang through the forest as the first Devourer ships broke through the clouds above Verdania. Luna stood on the palace walls watching 3 dark vessels descend toward the northern forest like falling stars. Each ship was the size of a small mountain and covered with mechanical arms that moved like the legs of a giant spider. "They are landing near the Crystal Falls," Maya said through their mental connection. She was positioned with a group of Catherian warriors on the eastern ridge, ready to support Luna's attack team. Luna checked her weapons one final time. Her elven bow had been enhanced with Catherian energy technology, allowing her arrows to pierce even the strongest metal. Her armor was a combination of traditional elven leather and alien materials that could stop plasma blasts. "All teams, report your positions," Luna said through the network to her enhanced warriors. "Team 2 ready," Lisa replied from the southern approach. She led 5 enhanced elves who specialized in close combat. "Team 3 in position," Amy responded from the forest canopy. Her rangers would provide covering fire and track any devourers that tried to escape. Dr. Beth's voice came through the communication system from the medical station. "All teams, remember that devourers convert organic matter into new units. If you are injured, retreat immediately for treatment." Luna took a deep breath and gave the signal to begin the attack. She leaped from the palace wall and landed softly on the forest floor below, using her enhanced abilities to absorb the impact. Her team of 6 enhanced elves followed behind her as they moved quickly through the trees toward the landing site. As they got closer to the Crystal Falls, Luna could see the true horror of what they were facing. The Devourer ships had opened, like flowers, releasing hundreds of mechanical creatures onto the forest floor. Each creature was different, but all of them shared the same basic design of metal limbs and glowing red sensors. Some devourers walked on 2 legs like humans, but with arms that ended in cutting tools and weapons. Others crawled on multiple legs like mechanical spiders, searching for organic matter to consume. The largest ones looked like metal dragons with wings that could cut through trees. "The trees," Luna whispered in horror. Wherever the devourers touched the ancient forest, the wood turned black and crumbled. The creatures were literally eating the life force from everything around them. A group of small devourers spotted Luna's team and began moving toward them with jerky, unnatural movements. Luna drew her bow and fired 3 arrows in quick succession. Each arrow struck its target and exploded with energy, destroying the mechanical creatures instantly. "Engage all targets," Luna commanded through the network. The battle erupted across the forest as 3 teams of enhanced warriors attacked the Devourer force from different directions. Luna's enhanced senses allowed her to track dozens of enemies at once while coordinating with her allies through their mental connection. Lisa's team charged into a group of larger devourers near the river. Her enhanced speed allowed her to dodge their attacks while her energy-enhanced sword cut through their metal armor. The other enhanced elves moved like dancers around their enemies, combining elven grace with Catherian tactical awareness. Amy's rangers fired from the treetops, their enhanced arrows finding weak points in the Devourer armor that normal weapons could never penetrate. Each shot was perfectly placed thanks to the tactical information flowing through the network. But the Devourers adapted quickly to their attacks. The mechanical creatures began working together in new patterns, using their fallen allies as shields and weapons. For every Devourer destroyed, 2 more emerged from the ships. Luna found herself fighting beside Maya against a creature that looked like a metal centaur with multiple arms. The beast fired energy beams while trying to grab them with mechanical claws. "Behind you!" Maya shouted, spinning to block an attack aimed at Luna's back. Luna fired an arrow that struck the creature's central processor, but instead of falling, it grabbed Maya with one of its claws. The mechanical arm began to glow as it started converting Maya's organic matter into metal. "Maya!" Luna screamed, feeling her friend's pain through their connection. Without thinking, Luna reached out with both her elven magic and her Catherian enhancements. Golden light flowed from her hands into Maya's body, fighting against the conversion process. The healing magic, amplified by the alien technology, began reversing the mechanical infection. The Devourer creature sparked and jerked as if confused by what it was seeing. Luna's healing energy was interfering with its conversion process in ways its programming could not understand. "Impossible," the creature said in a mechanical voice. "Organic matter cannot resist conversion." Luna helped Maya to her feet as the Devourer fell backward, its systems overloaded by the conflicting energies. Maya's arm, which had been turning to metal, was now fully organic again. "How did you do that?" Maya asked, staring at her healed arm. "I do not know," Luna replied honestly. "It felt natural, like the magic and technology wanted to work together." Through the network, Luna sensed that the other teams were struggling. There were too many devourers, and more ships were landing in other parts of the forest. The mechanical creatures were also learning from each battle, adapting their tactics to counter the enhanced warriors' abilities. "All teams, fall back to defensive positions," Luna ordered. "We cannot win this battle by direct assault." As her warriors retreated through the forest, Luna received an urgent message from Empress Zara at the command center. "Princess Luna, our sensors show that the Devourer ships are preparing to launch conversion drones toward the palace. If those drones reach the civilian population, they will turn our people into more Devourers." Luna looked at the mechanical army spreading through her forest and made a difficult decision. "All teams, new mission. We protect the evacuation routes while the civilians get to safety. We cannot save the forest today, but we can save our people." The enhanced warriors fought, a running battle through the trees as elven families fled toward the underground tunnels that led to the hidden valleys. Luna used her network connection to coordinate the retreat, while Maya and Lisa held the most dangerous positions. As they reached the tunnel entrances, Luna turned back to look at the Crystal Falls area. The ancient trees were turning black and crumbling as the Devourers consumed them. Centuries of elven history were being destroyed in hours, but something important had been learned in this battle. Luna's ability to reverse the conversion process meant that the Devourers were not as unstoppable as everyone had believed. The combination of elven magic and Catherian technology had created something the mechanical creatures could not understand or counter. "This is not over," Luna said, watching the last of her people disappear into the safety of the tunnels. "We will find a way to defeat them." Maya stood beside her, both of them bruised and tired, but still alive. "The main fleet is still coming. This was just their advance force." Luna nodded, already planning their next move. The gift that Empress Zara had given them was more powerful than anyone had imagined. Now they needed to find a way to use it to save not just Verdania, but all the worlds threatened by the Devourer fleet. The first battle was lost, but the war was just beginning. Luna stood beneath the great mother tree in the hidden valley where the elven refugees had gathered. The massive tree was over 2,000 years old and had always been the spiritual heart of their people. Today, she was asking it to become something it had never been before. "You want to turn our sacred trees into spaceships?" Elder Katie asked, her voice filled with disbelief. The old elf had agreed to the meeting, but her expression showed she thought Luna had lost her mind. "Not just spaceships," Luna explained patiently. "Living vessels that can carry our people and our magic to fight the Devourers in space. The Catherian fleet alone cannot stop the main invasion force." Empress Zara stood beside a young Catherian engineer named Mia Stardust, who had been working with the elven druids for the past week. Mia was brilliant but inexperienced, chosen for this project because she understood both technology and organic systems. "The principle is sound," Mia said, checking her readings. "Elven trees already channel magical energy in ways similar to how our ships channel plasma power. With the right modifications, we can create vessels that are stronger than either of our technologies alone." Rose Earthsong, the most skilled druid among the elves, stepped forward. She was a quiet woman who rarely spoke in council meetings, but when she did, everyone listened. Her connection to the forest was deeper than anyone else's. "The trees are willing," Rose said simply. "I have spoken with the Great Mother and the other Ancient Ones. They understand the threat and want to help protect all life in the galaxy." Luna felt relief flow through her enhanced senses. Without the cooperation of the trees themselves, her plan could not work. The elven world ships would need to be grown, not built, using a combination of druidic magic and Catherian technology. Maya approached Luna through their mental connection while standing guard at the valley entrance. "Luna, our scouts report that the main Devourer fleet will arrive in 6 days. Can the world ships be ready in time?" "They have to be," Luna replied. She turned to address the group of engineers, druids, and enhanced warriors who had gathered around the Great Mother Tree. "We start now. Rose, begin the growing ritual. Mia, Integrate your technology as the trees develop. Over the next 5 days, Luna watched in amazement as 12 ancient trees began their transformation into living spaceships. The process was unlike anything she had ever seen. The trees grew larger and developed hollow spaces inside their trunks that became living chambers. Their branches spread out and flattened into wing-like structures that could catch solar winds. Mia and her team worked day and night to install Cytherian systems throughout the growing ships. Weapons systems were integrated into the branches, while shield generators were placed within the root systems. The most amazing part was that the trees accepted the technology as if it were a natural part of their growth. The ships are developing their own consciousness, Rose reported during one of their daily meetings. They understand their purpose and want to learn how to fight. Luna spent most of her time training the crews who would operate the world ships. Each vessel needed a mix of enhanced elves and Cytherian specialists who could work together through the mental network. The pilot Grace Skyrender and tactical specialist Kelly Voidwalker became her most trusted team leaders, but not everyone supported Luna's plan. General Diana Warforge, a senior Cytherian military officer, arrived on the 4th day with strong objections to the entire project. "Empress, I must protest this waste of resources," Diana said during a heated council meeting. "We should be evacuating both populations to safe worlds, not attempting an impossible battle with untested ships." Diana was an experienced warrior with many victories against conventional enemies, but she had never fought the Devourers. Her traditional military thinking could not accept Luna's unconventional approach. "General, the Devourers have conquered every world that tried to run from them," Empress Zara replied firmly. "Princess Luna's hybrid technology may be our only chance to stop them permanently." Luna stepped forward to address Diana directly. She had been thinking about this conversation for days, knowing that she would need the support of all Cytherian forces. "General Warforge, I understand your concerns, but I have fought the Devourers and seen how they adapt to conventional weapons. Our world ships represent something they cannot understand or counter." Diana looked skeptical. "Princess, with respect, you are young and inexperienced in large-scale warfare. One small battle does not qualify you to lead a fleet against the greatest threat in the galaxy." The words stung, but Luna knew Diana was partly right. She was young and had never commanded a space battle, but she also knew something that Diana did not understand. "You are correct that I lack experience," Luna admitted. "But I have something the Devourers cannot predict or counter. The network connection allows me to coordinate all our ships as if they were one organism. The Devourers think in terms of individual units. We can think as a collective while keeping our individual creativity." Maya spoke up from beside Luna. "General, I have shared my memories of fighting the Devourers with Princess Luna. She understands their weaknesses better than any traditional commander." The debate continued for hours, but finally, Empress Zara made her decision. "The world ships will launch as planned. Princess Luna will command the fleet with General Warforge as her military advisor." Diana accepted the order but clearly remained unhappy about it. Luna could sense the tension between them through her enhanced abilities, but she hoped they could work together when the battle began. On the morning of the 6th day, Luna stood on the bridge of the verdant storm, the flagship grown from the great mother tree herself. The ship was beautiful in a way that no purely mechanical vessel could be. Living wood formed the walls and ceiling, while crystalline displays showed tactical information. Through the great windows that had grown like transparent leaves, Luna could see the other 11 world ships taking their positions in space above Verdania. Each ship was unique, grown from different species of trees and equipped with different combinations of weapons and abilities. "All ships report ready," Grace announced from the pilot station. Her hands rested on controls that looked more like flower petals than buttons. Kelly studied the tactical displays that showed the approaching Devourer fleet. Enemy contacts detected. Over 100 ships, including 3 world-killer dreadnoughts. Luna felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. 2 entire civilizations were depending on her to succeed where dozens of other worlds had failed. Through the network, she could sense the determination of every enhanced warrior in the fleet. "All ships, this is Luna," she said over the communication system. "Today we fight not just for Verdania or the Cytherian Empire, but for all organic life in the galaxy. The Devourers think they are unstoppable, but they have never faced the combination of magic and technology we represent. Maya stood beside her at the command station, their enhanced connection allowing them to share tactical awareness in real time. The enemy fleet is entering our system. They will be in weapons range in 30 minutes. Set course for the Nexus. Void, Luna ordered. We meet them in open space where they cannot threaten our worlds. As the world ship fleet moved toward their destiny, Luna felt the consciousness of the great Mother Tree speaking to her through their connection. The ancient being had never been in space before, but it was ready to defend all the life it had, protected for millennia. The final battle was about to begin, and Luna knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The space around the Nexus void filled with ships as two fleets prepared for the battle that would decide the fate of countless worlds. Luna stood on the bridge of the verdant storm, watching the Devourer fleet approach like a dark cloud against the stars. Their ships moved in perfect formation, each one identical to the others except for size. They have no creativity, Maya observed through their mental connection. Every ship follows the same patterns, uses the same tactics. Luna nodded, studying the enemy formation through her enhanced senses. The three world-killer dreadnoughts hung back behind the smaller ships, protected by layers of defensive screens. Those massive vessels could destroy entire planets if they reached inhabited systems. All world ships, begin evasive patterns, Luna commanded through the network. Remember, we are not trying to match their firepower. We use speed and unpredictability. The Elven-Catherian hybrid ships responded to her orders with movements that seemed impossible for vessels of their size. The living wood hulls could bend and flex while still maintaining structural integrity. When Devourer energy beams struck them, the ships absorbed the energy and channeled it into their own systems. Grace guided the verdant storm through a complex spiral pattern that brought them close to a group of smaller Devourer vessels. Weapons range in 10 seconds, she announced. Fire when ready, Luna replied. The world ship's weapons were unlike anything either species had created before. Instead of simple energy beams, they fired concentrated bursts of life force that could disrupt the mechanical systems of the Devourers. When the beams struck enemy ships, their hulls began to crack and spark as organic energy fought against artificial programming. Through the network, Luna coordinated attacks from all 12 world ships simultaneously. They moved like a pack of wolves, working together to isolate and destroy individual Devourer vessels. The enemy ships tried to adapt to their tactics, but the constant mental communication between the enhanced crews allowed them to change strategies faster than the Devourers could counter. Enemy reinforcements moving to intercept, Kelly reported from her tactical station. 40 ships breaking formation to engage us directly. Luna felt the battle awareness of every enhanced warrior in the fleet flowing through her consciousness. She could see the entire battlefield from dozens of different perspectives while processing tactical information faster than any computer. Maya, take your squadron around their left flank, Luna directed. Grace, bring us about to face their main assault. The battle raged for hours as the two fleets fought across the Nexus void. The world ships took damage, but their living hulls could heal themselves by drawing energy from their crew's life force. Several times, Luna watched ships that seemed destroyed regenerate their damaged sections and return to the fight. But the Devourers had advantages, too. Their mechanical systems never tired, and they could replace destroyed units with new ones built from the wreckage of fallen ships. As the battle continued, Luna realized they were slowly losing despite their tactical superiority. Luna, the world-killer ships are beginning to move, Maya warned through their connection. If they break through our lines, they can reach Verdania. Luna made a decision that went against all military logic. Instead of trying to stop the dreadnoughts with conventional attacks, she would attempt something that had never been tried before. All ships, form up on the verdant storm, she commanded. We are going to link our consciousness networks together. General Diana's voice came over the communication system, filled with alarm. Princess, that is too dangerous. The mental strain could destroy all of us. The alternative is letting them reach our worlds, Luna replied. Trust me, General. One by one, the world ships moved into a tight formation around the flagship. Luna reached out with her enhanced abilities and began connecting with every enhanced warrior in the fleet. The mental network that had linked individual crews now expanded to include over 300 consciousness working as one. The sensation was overwhelming at first. Luna felt like she was drowning in the thoughts and emotions of hundreds of people. But gradually, she learned to organize the chaotic flow of information into something useful. Through the combined network, she could see patterns in the Devourer, fleet that no individual mind could have detected. The mechanical ships were not truly independent. They were all connected to a central command system located in the largest world killer dreadnought. "I can see their weakness," Luna announced to the fleet. "The Devourers are controlled by a single central mind. If we can disrupt that connection, their entire fleet will be paralyzed." But reaching the command ship meant flying through the heart of the enemy formation. It was a suicide mission that only one ship could attempt. "Maya, transfer your crew to the other world ships," Luna ordered. "I am taking the Verdant Storm in alone." "No," Maya replied immediately. "If you are going, I am going with you." Luna felt a surge of emotion through their bond connection. Maya was more than her ally or friend. They had become something like sisters through their shared enhancements. Together then, Luna agreed. The Verdant Storm broke away from the fleet and accelerated toward the enemy command ship. Devourer vessels moved to intercept them, but Luna used the power of the entire network to predict their movements. The flagship twisted and dodged through walls of energy fire that should have destroyed it instantly. As they got closer to the command dreadnought, Luna began to understand what she needed to do. The Devourer's central mind was like a giant computer that could not process organic, chaotic patterns. If she could feed it the random creativity of the enhanced network, it might overload their systems. "Maya, link with me completely," Luna said as they approached the enemy ship. "We need to become one consciousness." Maya took Luna's hand as the Verdant Storm flew directly toward the command ship's main sensor array. Their enhanced abilities merged into a single blazing point of organic energy that contained the life force of their entire fleet. Luna felt herself changing as the power flowed through her. Her physical body began to glow with the combined energies of elven magic and Catherian technology. She was becoming something new, something that existed beyond the normal boundaries of individual consciousness. The Verdant Storm struck the Devourer command ship, and Luna released all the chaotic energy of the network directly into their central computer. The mechanical mind tried to process the random patterns of organic thought and emotion, but the task was impossible for its rigid programming. Explosions began rippling through the Devourer fleet as ships lost connection with their command system. Without central coordination, they began attacking each other or simply shutting down. The three world killer dreadnoughts drifted helplessly as their control systems failed. Luna felt her consciousness expanding beyond her physical body as the transformation completed. She had become a bridge between organic and mechanical, chaos and order, individual creativity and collective purpose. "Luna, are you still there?" Maya asked, her voice filled with concern. "I am here," Luna replied, though she was no longer entirely sure what here meant. "But I am also everywhere our network reaches." When the battle was over, Luna found herself standing on the bridge of the Verdant Storm in a body that glowed softly with inner light. The transformation had made her something new, but she was still herself at the core. Empress Zara's voice came over the communication system, filled with amazement and relief. "Princess Luna, our sensors showed that the entire Devourer fleet has been neutralized. How do you feel?" Luna looked out at the disabled enemy ships and the celebrating world ship fleet. Through her enhanced senses, she could feel the joy and relief of every enhanced warrior. But she could also sense other things, distant signals from threatened worlds across the galaxy. "I feel different," Luna admitted, "but I also feel ready for what comes next." Maya stood beside her, still connected through their bond, but amazed by the changes in her friend. "What comes next?" Luna smiled as she looked out at the stars, where other worlds waited for liberation from various threats. The gift that Empress Zara had given her had evolved into something greater than anyone had imagined. She had become the first warrior queen of a new kind of alliance. "We build a better galaxy," Luna said simply, "one world at a time." In the months that followed, The Verdanian-Cytherian alliance grew as other species requested help against the remaining Devourer outposts and different threats. Luna led fleets of world ships to dozens of endangered worlds, always offering alliance rather than conquest. The young elf who had once dreamed of seeing the stars had become something far greater. She was now a bridge between species, a guardian of organic life, and the first of a new kind of leader for a dangerous but hopeful galaxy.